It is a horrible idea that there is somebody who owns us, who makes us, who supervises us, waking and sleeping, who knows our thoughts, who can convict us of thought crime, who can do thought crime, just for what we think. You're a child made in the image of God. Oh no, you're not. You're a faggot. And you can't join your church and you can't go to heaven. This is disgraceful. It's inhuman.
I have come to the conclusion that Middle Eastern men, I'm not going to say all Muslim men, because I'm sure there are exceptions. I'm sure that somewhere out there are modern thinkers who aren't still living in the Dark Ages. But I have to come to the conclusion from what I have seen and observed that Middle Eastern men are the weakest men on this planet. They have no control. A child will hit when they get angry. A child will hit. A child will strike. But a grown adult has control. A grown adult can look at a beautiful woman, scantily clad even, and have some control over himself. He doesn't immediately get a hard-on. He might have a lustful thought, but oh well, that's kind of a natural thing. The woman is not, it's not her responsibility to see to the whatever of other people around her. She is being herself. She's expressing her individuality by how she dresses. And most men who see somebody who's sexy, beautiful, you know, if they have a reaction to that, whatever, if it's a thought, if it's physical, whatever, they don't blame the woman. Oh, it's all her fault. No. Okay, well, I'm just a natural man. It's not the woman's responsibility that the man had a reaction. You know, maybe the man needs to work on control a little bit better. Here in the West, the men do not force the women to dress head to toe undercover so that they aren't likely to have any kind of nasty thought or embarrassing reaction. The men here can handle it. They can handle a beautiful face or a beautiful body. And yeah, okay, maybe a thought comes and goes in their heads. It's not a sin to have a thought. I'm sorry. Gods, we don't even know they exist. So the whole idea of having a thought being a bad thing, it's just a thought. It's gonna happen whether you want it or not. You really don't have any control over your thoughts. Okay, you had a thought. Ooh, she's hot. Ooh, I'd like to do her. Move on. It's pretty normal for guys to have those kind of thoughts. Women have those thoughts too. Newsflash, but they do. They see a hot guy. Damn, you know? It's called being human. Humanity does exist. It's a fact that humanity does exist. It isn't a fact that gods exist. It isn't a fact that your God exists. We haven't even established that any gods exist, much less yours. But Middle Eastern men apparently can't control themselves. They just have no ability to control themselves. They have fits of rage, apparently, and they beat their wives. And they force women, all women, to hide themselves because, ooh, they just can't handle it. It's wrong to beat people. It's wrong to hit another grown adult. When you get married, you're making for yourself a partnership with another adult human being. You are a partner with that other person. Your wife is not a dog. She's not livestock for you to whip. She's a thinking, intelligent human being. And she might even have willingly chosen to be with you. It might not even be a forced marriage. It might be somebody who fell in love with you and actually wanted to be with you. You should feel a little bit humbled by that anybody would want to be with you for life, that would make that kind of a commitment to you. That's a pretty big deal. Contrary to what your cult teaches, your cult, which worships this unproven thing, absolutely no evidence that it exists at all, and yet you have all these rules that you do to please this thing that we don't even, very unlikely it even exists, but you have all these rules, and you make these women, your women, Muslim women, adhere to these rules that are so much stricter than the rules that a man has to adhere to. And if the woman does anything at all, oh my gosh, honor killings? What about smaller things like the fact that a husband has the right to beat his wife? Like she's a disobedient child? Not his partner, not an equal, not another adult living in his home. Beat his wife. I can't even think of anything more degrading and demeaning and dehumanizing as that. It is not honoring her to beat her. It's insulting her. It's wrong. You do not hit another person, period. But apparently Muslim men can't come up with any other method. That's their answer to everything. Apparently, violence, extremity, whatever. Let's skip right over communicating. Let's just go straight to the whip and beat our property with it. Yes, Islam actually teaches that it's okay to beat your wife.
الضرب دي شبهة خطيرة جدا.
نعم.
واحدة معانا مولانا.
أقول إن الله كرم المرأة بهذه العقوبة، عقوبة الضرب. كيف؟
كرمها بالضرب؟
اي والله.
مش معقول.
كيف؟ قال نبينا صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم: ولا تضرب الوجه
الله
ولا تقبح. شوف، كرمها. إن ضربها لا يضربها على وجهها، حتى وهو يضربها لا يسبها ولا يشتمها. عجيب. إذن هو يضرب للتأديب، وإذا ضرب لا يزيد عن 10، وإذا ضرب لا يكسر عظما ولا يقطع لحما ولا يكسر سنا ولا يفقأ عينا. أدب عند الضرب. إذا ضرب عند التأديب لا يرفع يده إلى أعلى، بل يضربها بحذاء صدره. كل هذا تكريم للمرأة. هي تحتاج إلى تأديب، تحتاج إلى تأديب. فكيف يؤدبها زوجها؟ بالوعظ. فإن لم ترتدع ولا تنزجر بالهجران فإن لم تنزجر بالضرب، وجعل شروطا للضرب: لا تضرب الوجه ولا تقبح، وأنت تضرب لا تقبح، لا تسب ولا تشتم، يا ابنة كذا أنت كذا، لا، ممنوع هذا في
طيب
الإسلام.
يا
تكريم
مولانا
لها.
يضربها بإيه؟
يضربها،
بالإيد؟
نعم،
بعصا؟
صحيح.
بإيه؟
قالوا إن ضربها يضربها ضربا غير مبرح لا يترك أثرا، يضربها بعصا قصيرة، وإذا ضربها لا يضربها على وجهها ولا على أماكن الرأس التي تؤذي، بل يضربها على بدنها ويفرق الضرب. كل هذا اختيار لإجراء العقوبة، لكن هذا لا يكون إلا عند استحالة الوسائل السابقة. كمان تكريم الإسلام للمرأة أنه لم يجز العقوبة بالضرب كما قال أهل العلم إلا في حالة واحدة: عند امتناعها عن فراشه.
عند امتناعها عن فراشه.
نعم، لأنه أين يذهب الرجل؟ هو يريدها وهي تمتنع عنه، فيأتيها بالوعظ،
لا تاني،
يأتيها بالتهديد.
تاني يا مولانا الحتة
دي مهمة.
تاني دي أنا عايز أسمعها منك تاني.
اي نعم.
يعني ما ينفعش واحد يضرب مراته
عشان أكل، عشان شرب، عشان لا.
أيوة.
لا يكون إلا لأجل هذه المسألة التي لا يستغني عنها.
Again, this demonstrates how incredibly weak Muslim men are. Really, men, if you want sex and the woman you want to have sex with says, I don't want to have sex, why would you want to have sex with somebody who doesn't want it? How is that enjoyable? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Where's the pleasure in having sex with somebody when she has made it very clear she doesn't want to have sex? How is that? Unless you're kind of have that rapist mentality that, it just is such a turn on to have power over another human being and force her to have sex when she doesn't want to. And since she's your wife, it's not really rape. She doesn't want to have sex. If you have any consideration for her, if you really love her, doesn't that matter what her needs and what her wants are? Doesn't that matter to you? Apparently Muslim men are so weak that, oh my gosh, if they want sex, they absolutely have to have it. Have you ever heard of, masturbation? No, instead you're going to threaten and bully your wife, and if she doesn't succumb to your wishes, your demands, then you're going to beat her, because that's the one time you're allowed to beat her, like she is fucking livestock. Yeah, get the spurs into her, boy. I'm sorry. Muslim men, and I don't want to say all Muslim men, I'm sure there's some decent men out there who are Muslims, but oh my God. You can't put it off until tomorrow night? Oh, well, shoot, I kind of wanted to, but okay, I guess I can wait. Lots of men do. They don't beat their wives because their wives aren't in the mood. Maybe she's had a hard day. She is not your fucking property. You cannot just take her whenever you feel like it. Oh, I guess you can. Thanks to your imaginary whatever in the sky and your stupid man-made cult that gives you the power to literally beat her if she doesn't comply to your demands. Because I guess you're just too weak to handle not getting your way, even just for one night. As I said, unbelievably weak. And I don't know, is it because generation after generation of men have been in this kind of existence that they've never had to practice self-control, so now they just can't practice self-control? It's mind-boggling.
لا يمكن أن يقود السيارة شخصان، لابد أن يكون واحد،
شخص واحد. نعم.
فجعل الإسلام قيادة هذه المركبة، مركبة الأسرة، للرجل.
نعم.
وجاءت آية علاج المشكلة إذا طرأت في الأسرة ضمن آية القوامة. لذلك كان بدء الآية الكريمة الرجال قوامون على النساء، ثم جاء قوله تعالى واللاتي تخافون نشوزهن فعظوهن واهجروهن في المضاجع واضربوهن. توقفت عملية العقوبة في حالة التمرد وفي حالة تحويل هذه الأسرة إلى جحيم وإلى وضع غير طبيعي. عندئذ لعلاج هذه الظاهرة وهذه المشكلة في حالة نشوز المرأة وتمردها لا بد من علاج لهذه القضية، فجاء هذا التدرج. بداية بمجرد الخوف من النشوز، وقبل أن يقع حتى النشوز الحقيقي تأتي مرحلة الوعظ، وبقيت متمردة. هنا تأتي مرحلة أخرى وهي مرحلة الهجر في المضاجع، كنوع من الإحساس لها بأنني لست راضٍ. وإن أصرت أيضا وأعطاها فرصة أخرى خلال هذه المرحلة، ومضت الشهور بل والسنوات أحيانا ضمن هذا الرفض وضمن هذا التمرد، هنا يأتي حكمة الإسلام بأنه لابد أن تتدخل وسيلة أخرى، هي وسيلة الضرب غير المبرح.
ما الفرق بين المبرح وغير المبرح؟
الضرب المبرح الذي يترك أثرا في الجسم، الذي يترك أثرا في الوجه، ولذلك كان هنالك أمر باتقاء الوجه لأنه مجمع المحاسن كما ورد. فلا يجوز ضرب الوجه، لا يجوز ضرب الضرب الذي يؤثر كسرا أو يترك جرحا، وهذا ما نص عليه فقهاءنا في كتبهم. يعني أعتقد أنه من الإفساد أن تصل المرحلة إلى أن نقول أن المرأة هي التي تعاقب زوجها بالضرب، لأن هذا يعني فيه اعتداء على الإمارة وعلى
Of course, the wife can't beat the husband. That's crazy. What a insane notion that would be. You know, if she wants to have sex and he doesn't want to have sex, well, she's just out of luck, isn't she? Too damn bad. Somebody under the video that I did yesterday, I can get to it. The video I did yesterday, which Islam, not about equality for women or anyone. I got some comments from Grateful Apostate, who always makes, well, not always. I mean, I don't want to put any pressure on him. Oh my gosh, I have to always be brilliant. No, but sometimes he makes some very astute observations. I am kind of out of touch when it comes to feminism, modern day feminism or new feminism. But it seems to me, you know, after he's pointed this out, that they too might be kind of like Muslim men, or some Muslim men anyway, spineless cowards. Because female oppression is growing in this country, and if it isn't, it will be very soon, because more and more Muslims are here in America, here in the West. And in these households, it's perfectly acceptable for the woman to be beaten by her husband. It's perfectly fine for children to be told that they can't go to school unless they're wearing cloth from the top of their heads down to their feet. All these restrictions that women have to endure in the Middle East, they have to endure here in some cases, maybe in many cases. They have to endure it here. Why aren't any of the feminist leaders doing anything about this? This is abhorrent. This is contemptible. How many other adjectives can I come up with? But seriously, it's an outrage. This is America. This is the home of the free. Sharia law, or any semblance of it, is not welcome here. It does not belong here, and it should not remotely be tolerated here. I was thinking this the other day, and this isn't a very popular, I'm sure this would not make me very popular by saying this because it's not politically correct, but I figured out why I get angry when I see women walking around in hijab, the black ones where they go all the way down to their feet and they just have the slits for eyes. I've actually seen that here in the streets of Seattle. And not just that, but just women in general dressed in Islamic clothing where, you know, their faces show, but they look like they're straight out of Jesus's time, 2,000 years ago. You know, like they've just come from a set of a movie about the life and times of Jesus Christ. So they're walking around like that. And I get angry. I get angry. You know why I get angry, though? I figured it out. It isn't because I have a problem with them, with those individuals choosing to wear that. It's not because I know whether or not they're oppressed, although I think they are, or they've been raised to believe that this is how women are supposed to be. It's because it's an insult to my idea of what America is supposed to stand for. It offends me as a free American to see that in my country. A land that's supposed to be for the free. Are they free? Because I associate that kind of garb, that kind of attire with women who are not free. And I see women dress, they might say, well, I choose to dress this way. To me, it's a gray area. It's, on one hand, nobody should tell a woman how she should dress. Nobody should dictate to her, well, you can't dress that way. You have to dress this way. So saying to her, well, you can't wear that veil. To me, that's the same thing. That's just as bad as saying, you have to wear it. But at the same time, I see that, and to me, it's a symbol of something that I find abhorrent. Female oppression. Where women are beaten by their husbands if they let their hair show, or whatever, stoned to death because they want to dress more Western. That's why I get angry, though. It has nothing to do with it's anger because I feel like it doesn't belong in my country. Something that women should be able to wear what they want to. Can that woman? Can she really, if she wanted to, dress just like I do? Because I kind of doubt it. And that's where I think I get the anger from. Anyway, Grateful Apostate wrote 2 very good comments, and I think he's right. And I think that the new feminists, whatever the hell that means, are walking on eggshells while oppression is happening around them and they're doing nothing at all. He pointed this out and I'm like, yeah, it's true. Now, I'm not sure what the difference is between old feminism and new feminism is. I didn't see anything wrong with old feminism. The kind that my grandmother fought for, the kind that my mother fought for, the kind that I saw, you know, growing up, slowly but surely made girls have a better existence in America. From what I've heard of this new feminism, I'm not sure I agree with it. See, I think all people are equal. Straight across. Nobody's superior to anybody else. Nobody should have special privileges. It's called being considerate to one another equally. And equality is not a bad word. Anything that isn't equality is unjust. Inequality is the opposite of justice. Grateful Apostate writes, I'm glad to hear you speaking out and shedding light on Muslim misogyny, but it's a pet peeve of mine that the leaders of the feminist movements in the West have nothing to say on this. What is it that you can't get away with under the banner of religion? Women's rights have advanced greatly in the 21st century, and now we're just letting subjugation of women sneak in the back door because of the bigotry of low expectations, meaning that it's not politically correct to expect new immigrants with a different religion to be held to the same standards as the rest of us. Second comment. I watched a site where a so-called Muslim scholar was talking about the rules for beating your wife or wives. I guess. I think these Muslims are pretty proud that they are so just and merciful. Praise be to Allah, that they set some limits on how they can physically abuse their property. I meant women. Then again, if a temptress goes around brazenly showing her hair or driving a car, they have to be disciplined, right? This goes on within our Muslim populations in Western countries because of fear of being politically incorrect and offending someone's religious beliefs, especially if they are brown people. It's funny that women's rights groups will go cuckoo over an off-color joke in the workplace, but they are completely mute about the mistreatment of Muslim women. Maybe it's just me, but I would have thought that honor killings, genital mutilation, and unconditional subjugation to your man is something that feminist groups would be opposed to. He also doesn't mention forced child marriages, which is another biggie. So yeah, good point, Grateful Apostate. Okay, so what say you, feminist leaders out there? Got any kind of response? Is it going to ever bother you that people in the West, in Western countries, behind closed doors, are being beaten just for whatever? Because the husband doesn't like something that the wife is doing, so he thinks he can beat her like she's property? That's okay? We're just going to ignore it? In America, people are being beaten and treated like property, and we're just going to ignore it. It just angers me so much. And I'm not a feminist leader. So, it just seems to me that this should be something that would be a concern. Grateful Apostate makes a good point. Anyway, if you've been watching, thanks. Bye!